one of the hardest walkouts of all time. I think it was Robert Whittaker when you did the dancing.
Yeah.
Bro, I've always wished I could dance. I've always wished I could dance.
You can.
I can't.
I've seen you, bro. Trust me.
We hired this like big heavyweight choreographer chick to teach us a little dance. Just we
You already f***ed up there. You got a fat chick trying to teach you how to dance.
It made us comfortable. It made us comfortable.
It made me feel way more secure about
I
myself.
got you.
Let's talk about the first fight, because I feel like it was also similar to Izzy's Strickland fight. It went the whole 5 rounds, and he sort of, had his way, the entire time, and...
Debatable. I've watched it in
It was
slow-mo.
a robbery,
We've watched it in slow-mo.
Yeah, you didn't watch it in slow-mo, buddy.
We work well together. We just have a good flow. But you guys, it's kind of cool because, again, you're closer in age and you still have that respect for him as your coach. Like, you could tell him to go sweep the mat and he'd be like, all right, or maybe.
Yeah, I bet. Come on, bud.
Probably
Please.
not. No, I would.
We are live. Young Man Ramble. First of all, the hospitality. Y'all were so welcoming. But after giving us a tour of the space, both the downstairs and the upstairs, from the Contender Series,
Yup.
Yeah, that's it.
Yup.
Self-made.
take it away, Iz.
Yeah, man. Young Man Ramble episode, something. I don't know. I've been doing this sporadically over the years because I just know if you give them like once a week for a while, if there's a week I don't want to do it, then they're like, where's the fucking episode? Yeah. So I like to, but now that I've kind of taken a, not break from fighting, but like I'm slower with the pace I fight at, like I used to fight when I was younger, I want to just get these more. So again, it's a pleasure to have the former and soon to be 2-time UFC Bantamweight champion in the house, Sean O'Malley. Let's go.
Let's go.
And also his best friend and one of the best coaches in the world, Big Tim Bo Slice Welch.
Big Tim Bo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, boys.
Oh man, thank you for being here.
Dude, hell yeah.
In your house.
Dude, I feel like there's I'll let you kind of take it, but I feel like there's so much shit already popping in my head.
We were talking already in the sprinter yesterday, and I was just like, okay, let's save it for the pod. Let's save it for the pod because already one thing I like. So I'll say this. Even at the fights, we sat next to Merab, and I like Merab. He's a cool guy. I'd love to work with him. But this is mixed martial arts. Mm-hmm. I love the artistry of this. And art is subjective. So for me, even today, it was a pleasure to be in the cage with you guys. You were holding pads for both of us. But then when I was on the side watching him do his round, I'm just loving the way the flow is, man, because you're long. For your weight class, you use your reach very well, your jab, the snappiness. Even having you remind me, don't fucking load up, because these are things you have to get. When you're not dialed in, sharpened up, you forget, you start loading up. And those little things, those are moments for me for life, and I tick those off. So again, thank you. I appreciate that. But it's a pleasure watching you do your thing.
Dude, it was a fucking... They didn't even feel real. Like, you hit me up, you're coming to Phoenix. At first, I didn't know if that was really your number, because I think the name says
Master
tall
Russian.
black guy.
Yeah, tall black guy. Yeah.
I was like, that is something Izzy would have, so I feel like it definitely is him.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you hit me up, I was like, holy shit, let's go. And I had like such a hard training in the morning. Usually Mondays I train hard twice. I had such a hard Monday morning practice. Yeah. And like I didn't know if you were going to pull up or not. So I text Brandon. I was like, yo, I think I'm going to do like a lighter practice this afternoon. He's like, all right, bet. And then I was like, oh, fuck that. Izzy's coming. Let's get a good lift in. Yeah. And I'm so glad we did. It's crazy how much you could find, like, inspiration and fucking just, like I felt an energy just training in the room. I was so fucking sore from that morning practice, but I was able to, push beyond that just from the inspiration and energy you brought coming to the room. I was like, dude, it's fucking... I can't imagine the guys in the room, because you came and trained at the team practice today. Yeah. Tim taught a really good practice, and I bet those guys... We're just like,
that was fun. I had Dave, and I knew straight away. I was a point when he was in my guard, and I was like, "What are you, brown belt?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I can feel that."
Yeah.
Because I had a Kimura trap on him, and the boy just went, yeah, well, fucking going. And he's what, 20?
20 years old, just turned 20 now. 2-time purple belt world champion.
Really? He's good as fuck.
ADCC or
IBJJF.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, he's bad. I can tell.
It's hard to get him fights. We're trying to get him fights right now.
That's the problem when you're coming up. You probably had that as well at some point.
I didn't as much because I fought him. I'm from Montana, and in Montana, people I wasn't fighting very good. The competition wasn't good. I was fighting like 2-3 times a month sometimes. Wow. So I just got a ton of experience, and I wasn't very good, but I was still knocking people out. But I didn't have an issue getting fights. I feel like it changed within the last 5 to 7 years.
People trying to protect their record.
Well, and it's like people see like David Clay trains with Tim and I, and like it's hard when people can look that stuff up, and he's a purple belt world champion.
Also these now, because you see even at the amateur shows, young guys, they like look at each other's fights and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not fighting that guy. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Nah, it's different levels now, man.
But dude, the amount of stuff we learned watching you, because we were watching you do 5-round fights before Suga was doing 5-round fights, and the importance of the pacing and just being calm and not
Yes, sir. Yeah.
not emptying your
for it.
not emptying your tank and like in the warm up and in the walkout, keeping your emotions calm, and then watching you. I don't remember what fight it was, but was it? I don't think it was the first 5-round fight where you were just nasal breathing the whole time. I think it was third round. You were still nasal.
Brad Tavares.
Brad Tavares, yeah. That was my third fight in the UFC, first 5-rounder. And honestly, till this day, one of my favorite fights in the UFC. Just because, again, the way, you know how it is when you come in, people are like, oh, wait till he fights this guy. Wait till he fights a wrestler. Wait till he fight. And I was like, okay, wait till he fights 5 rounds. Wait till he fights a top 15 guy. You know, hype train, all that. And then in there, did a 5-0 show out. And against a tough guy like Brad Tavares, and he, just the way we showed out, I was nice. But again, like what you said, calm, relaxed, breathing nasally, and that's all shout out to Dave Wood, my breathwork coach. He's taught me a lot. Even I didn't start training with him then, but I just got the nose for it. African, big nostrils, so I'm able to just.
But a lot of people, that's a mental, that's a mental switch you got to know to do that, because naturally, I think people get in there,
shallow breathing and shit.
Yeah. But no, we've learned
even yesterday. What was the one that Brandon thought?
We did like a ramp up, so we were doing like.
What do you call that, ramp up?
And then we were just squeezing real hard for like 5 seconds. I thought I was gonna every time we did that, I was like.
The last one, I wasn't gonna bitch out, but
I know.
And then when I got up, I was like,
"Woo!" That's called getting high on your own supply. That's the breathwork stuff's a game changer. I was telling you, I feel like because Brandon and I do a lot of breathwork before sparring, before hard even like before hard practices. I'll come to the gym early, and there's an app on my phone. It'll run me through certain ramp ups and breathworks and stuff. But I kind of use that as entering the zone. The flow state is coming from like kind of everything that's going on. I'm gonna take 10 minutes, just focus on my breath, ramp up, get my just everything fucking going, and just focus on what the fuck I have to do in this session. I feel like, and I've been doing that for 4 or 5 years. I feel like that's really helped.
That's another thing I've just like taken a note of. Like I said, the sprinter, the breath work you guys did, but that itself, like we talked about it briefly yesterday, getting into the flow state through the breath, because normally I can tap into it with mindfulness, with meditating, but I've never used my breath to try and get into the flow state. But again, the breath is life, so of course that makes sense. So that's something I'll hit you up about as well, to get like a protocol. I think I had the app as well, Apnea app or so whatever it's called.
I'll find it. I'll send it to you. I use it. I love it.
But yeah, that helps.
How what's the age difference between you and Sean?
4 years?
I didn't even know it was 30. I thought it was like 25, 26.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm 30. I was like, oh, yo.
How did you transition from being a fighter yourself into becoming Sean's coach?
I think it was when I was 27, about to turn 28. I'd lost my Ultimate Fighter fight. Dana said win 2 more. I won 2 more. He didn't bring me back. So I'm like, I'm going to take a third fight. So I fought this pretty tough Canadian striker. And the first punch of the fight hit me with the uppercut. Boom. And I was like, fuck, that was a good shot, but it not too hard. But then I couldn't close my mouth. So I completely broke my jaw. Clean break. So it's like hanging off.
No way.
For that whole first round. And I tried to take him down. And I did take him down. Second round, I'm like, fuck, dude, there's something severely wrong. And then I ended up losing that fight. And I just started, I mean, ever since Sean moved down as a kid, I always was kind of his mentor, because there's not a lot of people who make it to a bigger show from Montana. And he saw me on TV, invited him down, and we trained at the lab for a long time. But still, when he was in fight camp, I'd still try to teach him how to eat healthy and teach him how to hydrate and stuff like that. And then after that jaw break, it just kind of turned into more like coaching him and putting all my effort into him.
Tim, I feel like he was meant to be a coach, though. Like, you're literally, everything you went through with Robert Follis, all the coaches you learned from, and then even just breaking your jaw, it's like you were meant to be in the position you're in right now. Because, every time I had a fight coming up, he would switch from chasing his goals-ish, like, getting in the UFC, doing stuff, to kind of like coaching me, hitting mitts, coming on fight week trips with me, and teaching me all that shit, to where I didn't have to. I still had to go through it and learn and experience stuff, but I got to take a lot of shortcuts on what not to do, because he did a lot of things wrong and that he learned from that I didn't have to do wrong. So I was like it was like a cheat code. He was literally doing all this shit wrong, And then he was teaching me how to not do it, and it was like a cheat code.
Let's do it. Kind of like Freddie Roach. I think he had a little bit of a path like that because he went for a world title or fought a lot, and then either had an injury, maybe that's what led to his Parkinson's or something. But I remember he decided, and look, he's one of the greatest coaches in the world, and you're on your way as well.
Hell yeah. Thanks, brother.
I feel like you two, your careers and paths are sort of similar. Even the way, everything happened and even the origins. Because, look at where you are now and comparing the beginning. I feel like you're his Eugene in a sense. Because, Eugene and Izzy, 15 plus years, driving to small towns, started off a dream. Yeah. And through 15 plus years of work, now they're...
Different type of relationship, though.
Yeah, different type.
Yeah,
but
Eugene he's a lot older than me. A lot. Yeah. But also different, we work well because we're like almost sometimes polar opposites, but in the yin and the yang, there's a bit of that one and the other. So we have a common ground of trying to be great. And one thing I respect about him, he never tried to change my style when I started. Because a lot of coaches didn't like the way I was so cocky and flamboyant and whatnot. And they try to make me, no, you need to calm down and fight like, they wanted me to fight like them, but he never tried to change my style. So he's a smart guy, which I always appreciate. And now we work well together. We just have a good flow. But you guys, it's kind of cool because, again, you're closer in age, and you still have that respect for him as your coach. Like, you could tell him to go sweep the mat and he'd be like, all right, or maybe.
Yeah, come on, bud. Please.
Probably not.
Yeah.
No, I would. What's crazy is we're both from Montana.
Yeah.
But we didn't. He's from Great Falls. I'm from Helena. It's an hour away, and we didn't know each other. Like, we weren't childhood friends or anything. I remember just seeing him. It was on Spike TV. It was Bellator.
Oh yeah.
And he was fighting on TV, and it said from Great Falls, Montana. And I was like, what the fuck? He's on TV? Like, if you were on TV, I'm like that just alone. I was like, what the fuck? And then he randomly came down and commentated a fight that was in Great Falls. And I was fighting. I was just kind of crazy striker. I knew one submission on my back. I could do fucking rip an arm bar. Only submission I knew on my back. I was fighting this college wrestler that I think you guys assume was probably gonna beat me. He took me down. I arm barred him. I remember popping his elbow. But after that night, Tim was like, "Yo, if you want to come down and train at a real gym," so that was the first time I met him. And I was like, "Dude," I called him the next day. I'm like, "Yes, I do." I was 18. I was like, let's fucking make it happen.
I was like, this little fucker's crazy. I picked him up at the airport, and he's never trained with like a real pro before. And in the car, he's like, "We're gonna go to the top, dude. We're gonna." I'm like, "Bro, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into."
Yes. Oh, bro,
that's like you though.
Yeah, like
delusional.
Ali said it. I'm the greatest. I said it before I knew I was. It's like I didn't even when I saw Anderson Silva UFC 90 fight Patrick Cote. That was the first time seeing a live pay-per-view, and I saw the skinny black guy whoop this dude all different types of ways, and I was just like, I might be the best at this of no reason, like for whatever reason. It wasn't even me fighting. I was just like, yeah, might be. But again, look where it got us. It's not just that, but the
how
work
old were
as
you
well.
when you were at that time?
Probably 18, 19.
Okay.
18, 19. So same. I was just like confident and just like, you know what? Fuck, I'll be the best.
It's crazy if you guys would have ran into like maybe an older stubborn coach that were like, "No, you're standing orthodox and your hands are above your cheekbones." No, I wonder how much things would change.
I did, but then I just knew.
Were you a rebel? You like, I'm not.
My mom used to. My mom used to call me, "You're a rebel without a cause." I never understood what it meant as a kid, but now I understand. But for me, it was just I had the vision like, okay, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to do MMA, and he was very against it because he was a Muay Thai coach. So, and I respect him. You know, I'm glad I got to work with him. But I just knew back then, like, okay, this guy's not going to get me to where I need to go. I could just see it. I had the foreshadowing to see it. So I decided, okay, I was in a small town as well, so I was like, fuck this place, I'm out. And I bounced and moved to Auckland, the, I guess, main city in New Zealand. And, yeah, found Eugene. And from there, he tried to not train me at first, actually. Because he just tried to give me options like, oh, there's another gym, ETK, this and that. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. I'm staying here. So again, stubborn, rebel. And then, yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't get rid of me. But, yeah,
I think
still
he's
can't
happy.
get rid
He's
of me.
probably happy about that.
Dude, I always have so much respect for Eugene, just how many high-level guys you have in the room and how he gives enough attention to all these guys. And
it's not just him. It's hard for him now as well. It's hard but we also have, okay, Tristan. You'll see, like, like a big man in my corner just walk with a cane, older guy, that's Twister. Back in the day, A man was Kung Fu Panda. I'll show you a fight where he was in the ring, just kicking people in the head, knocking them out to their toes, throw gang signs. He is a bad motherfucker. Mike Ango, Lightning Mike, old fighter as well, blonde guy. Then you have my wrestling coach Andre. So Eugene has all these guys. Also Adam Johnson, he's one of the jiu-jitsu coaches at the gym. He has all these guys like the Avengers. He brings a lot of guys also from like back in the day, brings them back into the gym. Like, oh, come hold pads for this guy. And that's the Trojan horse to get them to, you know, stay and train and coach. But yeah, he has a good team around him that help him break things down. The hardest thing was COVID. That was the one I saw when because I've said this, I did 4, you know, those MIQ, whatever. You have to stay, you travel out of the country, then you come back and you stay in the quarantine for 2 weeks.
Fuck that.
I did 4. Eugene did 9.
Jesus.
And he had a newborn at the time as well. So for me, I saw what he had to go through during that time with his family, like leaving them for extended periods. And then, yeah, I wouldn't say it's a thankless job. Most times it is, because a lot of coaches train guys who, you know, grassroots and stuff, they don't get paid. But yeah, for those like you, Eugene, who actually make it with a great fighter, eventually it's thankful, but still hard, man. Those times are really hard.
Dude, I bet.
Did you guys ever do that? Like, did you fight during the pandemic?
I did it, but I just fought at the Apex. So
That's right, Vegas. I remember the one, Eddie Wineland, that's
Thomas
what
Almeida.
Oh, that's right. You had
the first Cheeto fight.
Yes, that's right. Fuck. So you fought a few times. Oh, yeah.
I fought 3 times in the COVID.
Man, did you guys have the quarantine here or not?
No. We had the quarantine in Vegas. We'd fly there, and there's the quarantine hotel.
But if someone flew out of the country, did you have to come back in quarantine or?
Nope.
No,
we were pretty good here. We didn't really, dude.
I know Texas was free, Florida was free, so Arizona was chill.
We trained like it was fucking another day. Yeah. We didn't have shit going. Like, we were lucky as fuck.
Yeah. Look where we are now.
Yeah.
Talking about your confidence, Sean, and you know how it is when people see someone so confident in themselves and can say where they see themselves and, you know, stands 10 toes down. People give out opinions are cheap and you see what people say on social media. When did you start developing your hard skin?
I think.
And how did you like build up that mental fortitude to block the noise out and be like, fuck the naysayers, I'm gonna keep on going, keep on pushing?
I don't know exactly what it was. I was 16 years old when I started kickboxing. And I was like 4-0 with knockout. And then I did some boxing fights. I was knocking people out. And I wasn't beating good people by any means. They sucked. But I was knocking people out. So in my head, I'm like, I got to touch people's chins. I'm knocking these guys out. So I built this confidence. It was a sense of, it was like delusional confidence that I was way better than I was. But it gave me the dream to be like, I could really become great. I wanted to be in the NFL so bad when I was little. Like,
what?
Yeah.
Oh, when you were small.
When I was small, like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. What?
Water boy?
That dream ended up not happening. But I pictured myself being on TV, being the main guy, being the guy scoring touchdowns, being the guy that the commentators were talking about. I wanted to be that guy. And when I realized in high school, I'm like, all right, I ain't going to be in the NFL. And then randomly, my buddy's like, you want to check out this fighting gym? And I was like, sure, I guess I ain't got shit. I got nothing else. I wanted to play sports. Didn't play sports in high school because you had to get good grades. I didn't really like school. Kickboxing fighting was outside of school. But I got confidence from doing that. And then, when I moved down to Arizona, I'd never trained with pros. Never. And I my first time I came down for 10 days, I stayed on that Tim's Ottoman. It was the first time I really met Tim and hung out with Tim. Came down for 10 days, went to the lab. The lab's a very heavy wrestling gym. I didn't know how to wrestle at all. Didn't really know any jiu-jitsu. Every single practice, I would cry. I would just be like, fuck, I am not nearly where I thought I was. But I was always able to make that switch in my mind, be like, I'm not there because I haven't put in the work. These guys are all better than me because they put in more work. I have to just put in the work. I know I'm an athlete, and I know I can learn. I never was good at learning in school, but I could learn moves and I could implement them into my game. So I was able to always make that switch. Like, okay, we just got to be in the gym. And that's all that, dude, 2 days, 3 days. I mean, really not much has changed now. Like, it's still, for the last 12 years, it's been like that.
And as you rose and got into the contender series and became more in the public eye and, you know, people started giving out, you know, opinions and whatnot, how did you let that, you know, not shake you and keep on pushing through, finishing people?
I think he did it better than a lot of people.
You see that sometimes of high-level athletes in different sports sometimes. know you might see some things about Ben Simmons or whatnot. It can break a lot of people, the social commentary and in all these top prospects that this guy's gonna do well, future Hall of Famer, and then they just crumble under the noise.
Well, two things. I feel like I personally feel like I did a good job navigating that, but I do think the UFC is also the fucking best in the world. They wanted to build a star, they built a fucking star. UFC is good at what they do, and they did a good job. But as far as like the comments and stuff, early on, I feel like I had a super slow progression to becoming famous. Like the Snoop Dogg thing kind of blew me up to say 15,000 followers on Instagram, and at the time I was like 1.5K, like 1.5, like what the fuck? That was crazy. Then I go out there and fight Terrion Ware. Was not a huge bump, but it was big bump. Then I go out there and fight Andre's soccer mom, break my foot. Like it was a slow kind of progression, but it definitely affected me early on. Like reading comments and like people talking shit or you're not, because I was always saying I'm gonna be bigger than Conor. That was like the thing I said that on the Contender Series, and I kept saying it interview after interview after interview, and I would get so much hate from that alone. You'll never be Conor, you blah blah blah. So it just motivate me. It's like I want to prove these motherfuckers. They fueled me. Like there wasn't really there was times, but not more than the bad. Like more of it was like
the main motivation.
But it was there. It helped, but it never really. It bugged me a little bit, but I got more out of it in the positive way that it motivated me than it broke me down and hurt me.
Even me during fight week, I don't do it as much anymore. But back in the day, I never read comments. Then when my IG blew up a bit, then I'd start to, have a little look-see, but you can't read everything. Like, nigga, I'm not going through 5,000 comments. Hell no. But then eventually during fight weeks, I found myself, I'd find one or two people, and I'd just be like, boom, I'm on your ass.
I save them till after the fight.
Bro, I have a folder in my phone called receipts. I have an idea for a show. I'll tell you guys after later on. And then I just like, if most of their pages are private, but sometimes their profile pictures is there, so I just gotcha. And I have receipts, so one day it's all coming out. I have an idea for a good show, but during fight week I like a little bit of venom, just a little bit. I'll tap into it just because it just.
The thing that fueled me, like I remember the first time I fought Peter Yan, it was like there was the pros picks, and it was like I was such a fucking huge underdog, and I remember hitting my hardest sprints, 12 speed, 10 incline, hitting my sprints, listening to, Peter Yan's going to kill him. Oh, Sean doesn't belong there. Sean's been fed everyone. He's not going to be able to, like that shit just fucking fueled me. And then I fought Aljo, and it was even worse. Like I was not supposed to win that fight, and I just got so much fucking fuel from people hating. So it's weird how they're trying to make you feel a negative feeling. But when we get positive from it, it's like...
And you put that in the speakers, like you play like YouTube and shit.
Hey,
and
I'll
like,
have
Okay, another one. New level.
And I'll send them to Tim. Like, look at these motherfuckers. There's like 13 people to 1 on this on the first episode of Pros Picks. I was like, I love that shit.
Bro. I'll say this, though. I respect... Because I did notice. I was like, man, this guy's too good. After the Almeida fight... Wineland, I'm like, okay, he needs a bigger competition. But then I like what you said on the way up. You knew your value. You're like, look, unless they pay me this much or within this range, I'm not going to fight these guys. And then the jump from the last fight before Peter to
Pedro
Peter.
Munoz,
bro. And then he went straight to Peter Yan. I was like, oh, shit, he's going to the top 5 already. And I rate that performance, man. You went in there, did your thing, and I was like, oh, yep. I already knew. Like, this guy is better than all these guys. He needs to step up. But that was such a big jump in that time.
Yeah, that was huge.
Like
huge,
even
for us, like we were looking at each other. In my eyes, Peter Yan's still probably one of the most scariest dudes in the division. Like when it comes to like Merab's one of the best at winning fights. Peter Yan is someone that's gonna fucking elbow you, knock you out, hurt you, cut you, beat the fuck out of you. Like he's a scary.
He can hurt you.
He's a scary. So when we're fighting in Abu Dhabi,
I eat his hat.
I think when we walked past him, what he's gonna say, "I'm going to eat you," or something like, But that one I was like, holy fuck! Like this is it. This is the shit I dreamed of. I was ranked 11. He was ranked number 1.
And that was a big jump, man.
It was crazy because literally number 2 through 10 were all fighting each other. The only person in the division after the Pedro Munoz fight, it was a no contest. I suppose that I poked him. It was Peter Yan, and I was like, this is it. This is the fucking time.
Before we get into how well you guys play the game, because I want to dive into that. When you see what goes on online and comments and whatnot. You being older and you being the head coach, did you have any advice for Sean?
When he was 18 years old, we were both in fighting. We'd both find like sports psychology books and go to the coffee shop before every practice and sit there and read for 20 minutes to 30 minutes and then underline stuff and send it to each other, just how to deal with that.
How did you come up? How did you even like come up with like the idea to start doing that? That's not even something that I've heard like at that young age, that early on.
I think it was when I went and trained and lived with Robert Follis. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
Yep.
He coached a bunch of world champions. He was a very just smart guy, and he just had tons of sports psychology books, and I really looked up to him a lot. And he just talked about how much of the fighting game, especially when you're a vet and you're going through losses and having to come back and battle, how much of it is just mental. So I just started reading some books and picking them up, and then we both started reading. I think it gave him a strong base.
Yeah.
So you studied other coaches as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was weird because I hated school. I didn't read. I didn't read. Like I wasn't gonna pick up a book, but then Tim handed me this book. I don't remember which one it was. I sat down and read. And I was like, oh, like reading something you want to read about is a lot different than reading fucking something you don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was like practice at 3:30. We'd go to the coffee shop, get a fucking cold brew, sit there for 20, 30 minutes and read. And it really helped me learn how to take advantage of each practice and set,
intentions.
Set intentions for what I'm going to get out of each practice and go into each practice with that. And that's, again, where I was saying I learned from him. It's like he started introducing me to books, and I was like, okay. And I started reading those books when I was 19 years old, and I feel like that really helped my mindset. But back to when he broke his jaw, that's when he learned about meditation. He started learning about meditation. He has his jaw wired shut for 6 weeks. He can't even laugh. He has his jaw wired shut. He has to drink smoothies. So he starts learning about meditation, starts learning how to control these thoughts in your mind. And he would bring it up to me. He's like, hey, I think this would benefit us in fighting. Like everything we've done is to benefit us in fighting, and it translates into, oh, this is just how to be like a happy human being. But meditation was from him breaking his jaw. And I feel like that alone, just meditation, is what has not gotten me to where I'm at, but I feel like it played a huge role.
I mean, being in those moments that you guys are in and all the people talking online and the millions watching, and then there's Zuckerberg and there's all these people, being able to bring yourself in that present moment is a fucking superpower.
How good is that with Trump? Like even whenever he walks in the arena, it's an event. It's
badass.
They shut down the street for even we couldn't get into the arena for 20 minutes, so we had to wait in the Uber and then get out the truck, walk through. But then you see him when he walks in and walks out, the whole arena just goes off.
Yeah. His walkouts are sick.
And then what is it? Kid Rock, they play American Badass when he walks out. They start playing Many Men. I like that. That'd be good for him.
Damn, that would be hard.
But not like it's good for our sport as well. Because look, the president of the UFC is tied with the president of the United States. And then the last pay-per-view, I heard he brought almost 100 cabinet members to the show.
Damn.
Because I looked over, I see Musk, I met what's his name? The FBI guy, Cash Patel. Yep, I met him and some other people, just seen them over there. I've seen these guys I don't really follow politics. Look.
No, we don't either.
For me, but it's just fun. It's fun to watch, especially when Trump is in it, because you know why? He just says the realest shit. He's a comedian. And I like the way people get like angry and it's like, bro. Anyway, it's just funny to watch from New Zealand. It's nice.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you, but first when you said walkout, one of the hardest walkouts of all time, I think it was Robert Whittaker when you did the dancing.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit. I've always wished I could dance. I've always wished I could dance. I can't fucking dance. I can't.
I've seen you, bro. Trust me. 2 minutes. I'll show you 2 steps. Like it's easy. You're a copycat ninja as well.
You'll be surprised.
We do a little TikTok after this.
But the thing is, it's all about just giving you the information in a different way that you can process it.
Yeah.
And I'll physically do it, and I'll just show you the rhythm. Put fucking whoever on. It's easy. But
Tim knows.
We hired this big heavyweight choreographer chick to teach us a little dance. Just we wanted to do it for fun.
You already fucked up there. You got a fat chick trying to teach you how to dance.
It made us comfortable. It made us comfortable.
It made me feel way more secure about myself.
I got you. Trust me.
But anyway, I want to skip that. Fuck that. That walkout was the sickest one of all time. Activity. When I think of my career, I've been fairly active. I would like to be more active. I've had injuries that I haven't been able to. Yeah. But when it comes to activity and defending the belt, you've done it. I mean, Volk too. You get that gym, but it's like that's That's greatness in my eyes. The activity of being able to go next best guy, next best guy, next best guy. I remember when you fought. I don't remember who it was, but DC posted the UFCs you headlined. And it was like UFC this to UFC this, and it was like every fucking other one was you. I was like, what the fuck? That shit's inspiring.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, mine. I think the first. Ooh, my bad.
No, you're good.
My bad. The first year in the UFC, I had a year and 1 day. I had 5 fights.
That's crazy. 12 months, 5 fights.
Yeah, so I was just like ramping it up. But that was the blueprint. Even you watch a guy like Navajo Sterling right now. One of my teammates he's got 2 fights in the UFC now. 1 in the Contender, and his next one's in Canada next month.
Oh shit.
So he had an injury that slowed him down a little bit, but he's also active. He's just like, when you get in there, you want to be fighting as much as possible.
Yep.
And then people be like, oh, I just saw that guy fight. Oh, he was, and then you're in people's minds. You're fresh. And then again, I think China helped. China really helped me with that, because in China I was there for 11 months. I fought 24 times, 25
Kickboxing,
times.
anime,
Kickboxing and 2 MMA fights.
Okay.
But one of those months I had 4 fights and 2 knockouts. And again, I'm able to do that because I was fighting really good guys, but at the time I was just fighting very smart. Hit, don't get hit. So that way I'm able to fight the next weekend. Yeah. And then, being in China as well, I ain't got to be famous. I'm just big and black. People just look at you, you know? And they're like,
Picture.
NBA.
Kabi Burayento. Like, they look at you and just say, oh, no basketball, no. And then a lot of pictures, take pictures. And a light show in China is like 5,000 people. That's a light show.
Oh,
Maybe.
light.
And my first stadium show was in China as well. Being stared at, being mobbed, all that got me ready for this. And staying active as well. I was really young. Like now I'm 35. I'm not young. I'm still young in life, but not young in the game of fighting.
Yeah.
So that's why I've pulled back the activity. Just because, and also funny enough, GSP is like my genie in this game. Whenever I need him, he'll just pop up randomly out of nowhere. And then he gave me some good advice because he's been there, done that. And he just told me, like the last time I saw him was in Saudi, but before that was in Austin, Texas, randomly. And then, he just gave me some really sage advice about you're old enough. You just, when you want to, if the hunger's not there, don't force it.
That is
Don't
good
force
advice.
it. Just let it come and let it build up. And that's why now I've had my first sparring back, and now it was a pleasure to do it with Kamaru. Straight away I got the itch. I'm like, fuck.
Ooh. So we could be seeing Izzy back soon.
Yeah.
That activity comes at a cost, though.
It does.
Oh yeah.
It comes at a cost.
He's seen it.
Yeah. And I mean, the whole world
Not just
saw
physically.
it. And I will also say the whole world saw it in that Strickland fight.
Yeah. Oh, bro,
Like,
the
he
worst.
Felt fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 weeks out, he couldn't feel these 3 fingers in his right hand. And if you go watch the open workout when he tries to do that push up and he buckles, I mean, it comes at a cost.
I don't use that as excuses.
No, it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. But
Back to back.
But he was even saying Eugene was teaching them how to fight, injured. Like, it's MMA. No, it's MMA. I mean, people are fucking yanking you. You're taking blows. It's not boxing. Like, you hear a lot of MMA guys when they go and do bare knuckle or boxing, and they're like, all I have to do is box
nice.
and do some cardio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's sweet.
Hit the road work.
Yeah,
Run.
but there's always, something. So that's one thing that Eugene puts in their training philosophy that.
But we've changed that now. We've changed that now, because there was a point at the gym when Eugene just saw, man, all the top guys are hurt. So that's why we revamped our whole training routine and schedule to be more efficient. Now it is like this last 2 camps, especially this last one was one of the ones where I only had like 2 days where I woke up and I was like, I don't feel like going, but I still go. But other camps I wake up, I'm just like, I'm not a bitch. I know I can toughen it out, but I'm just like, okay, let's go. And you get through the workout. But now it's fresh, and like what you said, intentions. Even Eugene taught us about that. Like when you go in there, leave all your shit at the door. Yeah. Fuck everything else, whatever's happening in your life. Just come in there and pay attention and try and have intention of what you want to learn.
So you're gonna, the way I think about it, is you're gonna be there anyway. Why not get the most out of it?
Exactly.
It's like you're gonna be there anyway. Get the most out of that practice.
Yeah, instead of just like lollygagging around and then.
You see it a lot though. A lot of people just come in there.
I've been there. I've been that guy because usually will cut. What did I just say, Israel? I'm like,
yeah.
So has sparring changed a lot? Because I mean, getting ready for that many 5-rounders for that long, were you guys sparring twice a week, real hard?
Yeah. Sparring has changed a lot actually, because we have on camp now and off camp the schedule. So if you're on an off camp schedule, your sparring is once a week. And it's not necessarily hard. It's like playful sparring and stuff, you know, technique, trying new shit to try and make sure you can get it done in proper sparring. And then that way you can get it done in a fight. So everything's more systematic now. And it's good because Eugene's an old school guy, you know, the guy, when I first met him, he had crutches because he snapped the shit in a fight.
Jesus.
Leg kick. It's on YouTube somewhere. We don't want to watch it.
I ain't watching that shit. Yeah. I don't watch that shit.
Even we were in Turkey when I fought Philip Verlinden, right? And then Tyro Spong was fighting Gokansaki, I believe. And then we just hear, and I see Eugene just go, oh, because he knew what it was straight away. Because it was instinct. He knew what it was straight away. But he snapped the shin because probably overtraining. He used to work so hard. I do the hill sprints too, but he do it with sandbags.
Jesus Christ, that's fun.
I'm like, yeah. So and then he just broke
fun.
himself down to the point where it was like, you know, his body had to say no. And he's a good fighter. He's one of the ones that I felt like if he wasn't like you as well, fighters make good coaches, especially when they have this working properly. Because a lot of fighters don't make good coaches. Trust. I don't think. See, I don't think I'll be a shit coach, but I just can't babysit people.
Yeah.
I've coached at the gym before coming up, you know, you pay your dues, you take classes and things like that for years. I've paid my dues. So, but as a coach, I just feel like after fighting, you probably coach. I think we'll get roped into it.
I want to help.
Yeah, I want to help.
I want to help.
Thank you. I want to help. Consultant, yeah. Or maybe there'll be someone like some little grasshopper that I'm like, I see something in you.
Yeah. I want to give back.
Yes, definitely give back the knowledge to the next generation. But I don't want to have a gym and then babysit because people management is one of the worst things in the planet. Well, Eugene says, especially with fighters, because we're all dumb. That's what Eugene says. Eugene's words.
That's why I'm like here. I'm trying to create like a bunch of other leaders too, and even with my guys, I need to become a better like speaker and a motivation guy. But I'm always like, if you want to get good, if I have to give you a motivational speech to come to practice, it's not going to last. That's one thing with Suga. You never have to get him motivated. He's there 30 minutes early for every single practice. But I wonder with like the hard sparring, both you guys did two times a week hard sparring for years. But now that you're vets and you guys know how to fight, I wonder, and now you said out of camp, they're sparring light once a week. I wonder if that would be the same for an amateur fighter who needs to go through those gym wars and needs to learn how to fight.
Nah, you got to get through those, man.
That's it.
It builds character.
It
like
does.
the Shark Tanks, you know, like sometimes coming up, young guy ego, you know, like you get some people that you have like a gym beef with or like when you guys spar, you know it's going to be fucking war. You need those. Those build character. They build toughness. If not, I wouldn't be able to get through like the Gaslam fight. I would have quit. Like that would have just been like, because you know, weird thing is, after I got rocked in the first round, that was the first time I ever got rocked in a UFC fight. And again, that's another one. They're like, this is it. He's going to lose. And I remember just thinking, not today. And then my brain was trying to tell me after the second or third round, because I dropped him back and I was whooping him, and my brain was like, it's okay. You know, you've shown your tough caliber. You've rocked him. You know, you've shown your tough. I was like, shut the fuck up, I'm busy. That's what same thing I said to my brain. I was like, shut the fuck up, I'm busy. In my head, and I just went back to work. But there's that lull of like, it'll try and get you. Your brain wants to preserve you. Self-preservation is the strongest instinct in the human animal. So it wants to preserve you, but you just have to override that. And if I didn't go through those trenches, the wars back in the gym, I'm not saying every day, but you have some of those. They got me ready for those times because I was like, right, this is it. Do or die.
It's not just what you did the last 10 weeks of fight camp. It's like, what have you been doing your whole career that's going to lead you to those decisions to be able to say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's not just, I mean, what you do in the last 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever your fight camp is super fucking important. You got to do it. But it really just comes down to how you, like, what you've been doing the last 10 years. Yeah.
Still with, like, I mean, for me, it's like the number one all-time UFC moment when you knocked out Pereira.
Yeah.
Like,
thank you.
Like the demons you were probably battling.
I met them
10 days before when he tore his MCL.
My right knee. It was bad. And then still, that didn't deter me. I was like, I'm not pulling out. I was like, it's too close. And a lot of people are counting on me. Bro, till this
I saw that
day.
shit in slow motion. I had like a meltdown.
Yeah, oh no, he was stressing.
Hell.
He went outside.
I cried that night.
That's
I
right.
cried that night. Because like, I saw it happening. The partner went for an inside trip and then like slow-mo. Then he already had an iffy ankle. He's had it for a little bit. And then he landed all his weight on that. And then, and then no one's doing anything. Everyone's just still sitting on the ring and shit. And then he's like, I guess we all just froze. And he's like, David, take it off, his shin guard. Take it off. And I'm just like, fucking, and then, all right, finished the round, and he just fucking did his fucking thing, finished the round, and then, and then he was like, freaking out a little bit, but after, he's like, it's going to be okay. I'll go straight away, ice bath, boom, 10 minutes, just to fucking shock the shit. And then the worst bit was, we sorted him out of the recovery, got him back home, and then, put some ice on it and whatnot, and I was about to leave, and then he was in a state. Like, he was sitting on the couch looking at the TV, the door was this way, and he had put his hoodie up and done the zipper. Because, we're about to fly out in fucking 10 days for this thing, or even less, because it was about 2 weeks out from the actual fight date.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, are you okay? I'm leaving. He's like, didn't even look to say bye. Like, it was just, and then I was like,
I didn't know you got that.
And it was like, camp was going well. Fucking, everything, this and that, and I leave, and I'm in a state, and he's in a state, and hell. But
I remember the moment kind of because I was sitting down looking at TV, and I had my hoodie up, zipped up, tunnel vision, and I just remember just thinking like, no fucking way, this is not. We're gonna get this done. We're gonna get this done. It's just
because you already put on all the work. You already put the camp in.
And again, this nigga beat me 3 times, and he's scared if I pulled out. Imagine the fucking what a pussy, this and that, right. Then they have to find a replacement. But I'm glad I persevered.
We threw everything in the kitchen sink at it: ultrasound, physio, Panadol, ibuprofen.
Hid it from the cameras. The embedded crew. We told them when I'm wrapping this up, no cameras. Told Mitch, please put that away.
If you see the embeddeds, all the shots are like, waist up, or if you see our fight cam vlogs, there's nothing showing the knee being taped up or anything.
Did you wear a brace during?
No. It was fine by then. Maybe
we took the ultrasound machine, so once we landed, they flushed it out, and we just did Hail Mary, everything we could do, like fucking Jesus take the wheel.
But it worked, man. It worked, and for me, even this weekend, I met a guy. Shout out to Dave. And this is not the first time, and everyone always, like, a lot of people tell me, like, man, that speech changed my life. And I'm like, really? But where it came from was that I was in the shower, right? And I've said this many times. The shower is, for me, the most honest place on the planet because you have the pure element of water running over you, and you're naked in your birthday suit. You have this white space, most likely, or like a lot of space, which you can just create in. So when I was visualizing and doing everything, when I knocked them out, I remember the feeling of feeling so happy. And I was just like, man, I was on shrooms as well, probably like a macro dose at the time, because I used that to tap into myself for that camp. And I remember this thing, I just want to share this with the world. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say that. And then I'm a freestyler, I can dance, so like a vessel, things just flowed through, and then it became this viral moment after the knockout. The arrow, all that, the pettiness with the kid, it went crazy. That. But the speech itself, I'm glad like so many people have told me like that's something that they've taken and ridden for months. They said they were just on a high for months. And I'm like, man, because I was on a high for fucking months after that. But the fact that it affected them like that and they felt the same happiness just made me feel happy as well. I could share that with the world.
Fuck yeah.
You talk about hard sparring. Eugene told me to go buy this $8,000
treadmill.
Incline specific. This is for Pereira 1. Incline specific treadmill that goes beyond what the normal ones do. And they would be doing sparring, and halfway through your round, you have to go jump on the maximum and then go back into the round. And then the Shark Tanks for Pereira 2, once, we're allowed to release some of the footage and whatnot, talk about, like, Eugene knew, like, Eugene's like, this motherfucker is not beating us again, and it's, oh, man, there's some good footage out there.
But honestly, like, I'm so proud of the guy as well, what he's done. Like, because it's like, I created a monster.
For real, literally.
Just like, he came out, and then he showed why he is who he is across 2 weight classes. And man, I can't wait to see the next fight with him and Ankalaev again. I think it'll be another hard one, but I think he can get it done. Because it wasn't a complete, washout of that fight. So I think he
impressed
can
me
get it
with
done.
his takedown defense, and he was doing a lot of
Teach,
good
bro.
shit.
Yeah, he's exponentially getting better as well.
Yeah. I'm sure that gave just being around you, having you around with Volk fighting and the demons that he's battling for this last fight and come back and do something similar was like fucking incredible.
Looks like he's locking back in. He's gone back to
the shamans. Already?
The shamans. He went to go to a shaman.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you mean
Pereira.
Pereira. Yeah. I saw that. He did up some hape, they call it apparently. It's like a nicotine, whatever. I can't remember what it is, but that you goes through your nose. And
fuck that.
Yeah. I'm like, damn.
Dude, similar. I had the same fear you had for him going against Pereira when we were flying out to fight Aljo.
Oh yeah.
Every night I'd be telling my girl, I'd be like, we're going to slaughter. There's
We're going to slaughter tonight.
there's ways for us to win.
Yeah.
But I'm fucking
found that
terrified
one
of this
way, brother.
fight.
Great.
I had
It'd be like that,
I
man.
fucked my rib up 6 weeks before the fight. So I did a 12-week fight camp. 12 to 6 weeks was fucking great.
Yeah.
I had a great camp. 6 weeks, I was sparring one of my buddies. Had a body lock. I turned and I fucking felt my rib.
Yeah.
And it was I've had rib injuries, and I was like, I knew it was gonna be a bad one because it was fucking hurt to do anything.
It take ages.
And it was 6 weeks of don't fucking touch me. I'm gonna run and I'm gonna hit mitts.
Yeah.
I don't want to pummel. I don't want to
Nothing
fucking.
like that.
I don't want anyone to even shoot a single leg at me. Have to get a head, wrist. I don't want. Don't touch me the whole warm up, the whole fight week. No one touch me because I want to fucking pretend in my mind if I wasn't doing anything too much, I wouldn't feel it too much. So I was like, this thing is gonna in my mind. It's fine. Don't
Couldn't even do
touch
any
me.
strength and conditioning.
No,
nothing?
I was hitting mitts and running. That's all I was doing. And that fight literally played out. Could have been better.
How did you stay in? How did you not freak out?
Dude, I just had a fucking. I had one choice. I'm gonna go out there and knock Aljamain out. That was the moment I had built my career up to. This is my first title fight against the worst stylistic matchup in the division. Still to this day, Merab's a bad matchup in a sense. He just wrestles cardio, but Aljamain doesn't just wrestle you and hold you. Aljo will take you down, take your back, and fucking break your spine.
Yeah.
That in my mind, going against Aljo was, I cannot let him touch me. I was literally, and against Merab it was a different game plan because I wasn't as worried about him touching me because I was it was a different fight. But in my mind, I'm like, this guy can't touch me. Yeah. It was in Boston. The arena was, it was 20,000 people or whatever, 18,000, 20,000. 99% were Suga fans.
Yeah.
And they were yelling, fuck you, Aljo. The electricity in Boston that night was fucking... There's never been a moment... even after I beat Cheeto, I didn't finish him, so maybe if I did, it would have been different. But Boston was the craziest electric moment in my life.
I love that feeling, man. That's the thing. It's intoxicating.
It is.
But thing is, you can't... for me, I've learned as well. This is something I've learned through life. I think Charlemagne said this. He said... You're never as good as they say you are. You're never as bad as they say you are. All that matters is how you see yourself. So for me, after those moments, I stay in it. I relish in it, bask in it.
Yep.
But then I let it go. I had to learn how to. And through the work I've done on myself outside of fighting, because after my first UFC fight, I went home and I had a big slump.
Yeah.
And I had to learn. You had that as well?
I've had that. I definitely have had that multiple times.
Yeah.
But I have learned how to deal with it way better. Better.
It wasn't until my Brunson fight I was able to go back home and then just be able to get back into life and assimilate to society properly.
Yeah.
But man, the first few, because it's a stimulus. And then once I realized all this, the lights, the camera, the people, that you're the man, you're this, that. And they go home and I'm just by myself on the couch. And it's just, not that I need the stimulus, but it's just
well, the pendulum swings. That's just life.
Yep,
what goes up comes down.
Amen.
When you're that high on a fight week and you go out there and win, it's what goes
electricity.
up comes down. So I tried to keep those moments of, I don't try to get too high on those moments. After my wins, I'm usually pretty calm. I remember after I knocked out Eddie Wineland, I was in the back doing an interview and they're like, you realize you just fucking had the craziest knockout.
That moment,
And I was like, I know, that was sick. I'm gonna go home and probably rewatch it 400 times.
Yeah, definite.
I'm not gonna let it get me too high because I've had those highs.
And then the other way.
That's why I don't really care to party right now.
Yeah.
Or even I go through phases.
Oh yeah.
And I'm in a really good phase right now where I'm I don't ever see myself partying really hard again. It just doesn't. Because every time you go out there and have the hell of a time with the boys, you're getting fucking hammered. You're having a good time. You're doing whatever you're doing. The next day, it's not worth it.
Yeah,
not worth it.
I've been there as well. But same with the losses as well, which helps. So people were because I bought 3 in a row now, people are like, man, not even the last one. I think the DDP one, they're like, man, you're taking this really well. I'm like, yeah, I've done the work on myself through therapy, through certain techniques I can use just to ground myself. Because I'm like, there's more to life than fighting, bro.
Yeah.
There's way more to life than fighting. And this is fucking cool. I am so grateful for this life. I will never, ever regret my decision to follow this and pursue this. But even now to this day, well, not lately actually, but months later after my last fight, people will see me and be like, they'll be excited to see me. They'll be like, oh, are you okay? I'm like,
I hate
fine.
that.
I hate that. I'm like, don't touch me, bitch. Like get that negative energy away from me. I'm like, how are you? I'm like, no, I'm fine. Sometimes I want to be like, man, you should see my bank account. You know, really, I'm gravy, baby.
I hate that too. After the Merab fight, I came to the gym and I was chilling, like I was good mood. Like, oh, you good? I'm like, I'm good.
Yuck.
It's gonna make it. In my mind, like I knew after the first Cheeto fight, like I will get that fight back. It was a knowing. It wasn't a man. I hope I get this fight back. I really want to get. It was a knowing in my soul that I was going to go out. I was gonna fight him again, and what was supposed to happen the first fight was gonna happen the second fight. And I went out there and did it. I had that same feeling after the Merab fight. I'm like that was weirdly supposed to play out like that because the next one's gonna be that much sweeter. So in my mind, like I was fired up. Like I was obviously fired up after the fight, but I was like I wasn't sad.
I feel that way about the Strickland fight.
You gonna get it back?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yee!
That's on my list. But again, it's just not for anyone else, just for myself, because he kind of let one of the cats out the bag about the activity and my body and whatnot. And we're all going to fights banged up, but that one I was just like,
You fought on one leg for a couple of years.
yeah. But we've done the work. I'm taking my time to heal myself and stuff, and I'm only fighting like what 2, maybe if we're lucky 3 times a year. But like. For me now, I just know, okay, I want to do this for myself. And if he beats me again, fucking, like, it's, what's his name? Nasruddin beat me. I was like, what? And
You were looking fucking sharp, too.
I felt
you were
fucking good.
Fucking
I went up to him, I was like, hey, good game, straight away. Just shook his hands like, we shot a fair one. You beat my ass. That's it. If I beat your ass, that's it. I don't expect anything else. Yeah. And the thing is, people, you need to get that back. I'm like, nah, that was a fair one. But the Strickland one for me is just like, I just want to know he beat the best version of me. Yeah. Then
Strickland's
I'm like, cool.
A character, bro.
He is. Oh, bro, that guy's.
He's fucking
But the thing
hilarious.
is, he's actually a sweet guy when you get to know him, because behind the scenes, behind the cameras, he drops the kayfabe, and then he'll tell my manager or tell me something really nice that's really endearing to him. I'm like,
and 2 days later, he was never that
good. But yeah, gotta feed his incels, all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll come in time. But right now, the division's a little bit.
Who's top 5 right now in the division?
I never check, hey.
Hamzat's
next.
Oh,
Strickland's
shit,
still up
right.
there. Rob's there.
Rob's
I think right
there.
now, Kyle Bahayo. They said he tried to fight him. He told me he wanted to fight Imavov turned it down.
Interesting.
And that the UFC won't like that.
No, they do not like that. They don't like that.
And yeah, he wants to wait. It was like, hey man, beggars can't be choosers. Like one thing I liked about, even you did it as well, and myself, on the way up, I picked my next fights.
Yep.
Every single time.
Yep.
On the mic, I'll find a way. And that's something that Chael gave me a lot of credit for on this pod. And I was just like, yeah, I know how to set it up. And I wouldn't pick easy fights as well. I'd go for the next hardest guy that made sense to me. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a big jump. Like even when fucking the Romero fight, even though it's fucking, I've had the most exciting fight in the middleweight division and the most boring. Get you a man that can do both.
I fought on that card.
Yeah.
I don't remember who I fought.
But yeah, that one, it was like, what was I saying? I picked Romero. No one wanted to fight him. Mm-hmm. No one wanted to fight him. Again, I was like, I'll take that guy. And the fight ended up the way it did. I saw it the other day. He said I was greasing. I was like, let it go, bro. It was a shit fight.
He didn't even shoot.
Yeah. No. I was like, what?
Cheeto said the same thing.
Yeah.
He said I was greasing too.
Yeah.
Man. He said my hair was greasy.
Nah,
Let's talk about it, though.
I sweat a lot. That's
Same.
why.
How did you guys come up with the strategy, not even having the experience of, multiple UFC fighters and contract negotiations, coming from like a big gym? Yeah, so how did you come up with the strategy and be able to execute it so well in the way that Sean came in and the fights that he picked with the contract negotiations and him becoming a star? And because you guys did it one of the best ways that I've seen it in the history of the sport.
Yeah, I mean that when they come to us for the fights, we talk about it and say it's good or not. But him and Imran,
I deal with the UFC directly. All my contracts.
Imran's a Sambo guy, right?
Imran's
that's I've met him a few times. Yeah.
Fucking G.
Ash loves him. Ash from Engage. They get along, so that's why I met Imran.
He's one of the rare people that, like, he sponsored me right after the Contender Series.
Oh wow!
And just saw potential.
Saw the future.
And never, like, the amount of money he's made me through different business ventures, not in the UFC, just other stuff. And he's never taken $1.
Oh wow!
Like, I literally probably owe him a minimum $1 million. And I've tried. Like, he doesn't. he's just a really, really good friend. He's a rare person to meet, and I feel like I'm rare. Like, I don't know how I keep meeting these people. Like, even meeting Tim, Emron, Brandon, the strength and conditioning coach we worked with, Tanquino. Like, I keep having these people come into my life to help me achieve my goal. It's wild. But as far as dealing with the UFC, I sit down with Hunter and just fucking have a really good relationship with the UFC. I don't expect more than I feel like I'm worth, and I feel like we just, you know, if you go, how did you word it?
If you go high, they go low.
No, it said you get what you. Fuck, I can't remember how it was worded.
Well, brain farts.
Yeah, but I think dealing with UFC and just being very honest, open with them, and literally having like a dinner with them, sitting down with them, being just not even talking business sometimes, just talking about personal shit is like goes a long way. And I feel like we just have been able to
humanizes you.
Yeah.
Even a lot of these managers, you see them with like 700 fighters. I don't know, not some crazy. It's like, it's really hard to have a personal relationship because you'd have to have favorites.
Yeah.
And the rest are just feeding your pockets. And it's just the fight business. It's what it is.
I don't like middlemen. And I know you have a really good management team because Emron talks to them and he speaks very highly of them.
I like Imran's energy. When I met him in Vegas when everyone's turning up and he's just...
He don't turn up. He's very level-headed.
Very level-headed the whole time. I clocked that and I was like, okay. Yeah. That's why I liked him.
Yeah. We have a small team, but it's fucking solid. But yeah, I think just...
Yeah, I feel like you also have to tick all the boxes in marketing yourself. And
tick all the boxes. I thought you said tickle the boxers.
Tickling
no boxes, buddy. I was kicking boxes.
It's a family show. Okay.
I wasn't tickling no one's little boxes.
Maybe the Young Men After Dark. No, but like I feel like you also have to tick all the boxes and market yourself and also be a phenom and a potential. They have to see the vision as well.
Yeah.
On top
and they
of
saw,
everything
the
else.
first Alfred Kasakian fight, Snoop, I knocked that dude out cold. And everyone always asks me, why do you think people like go to you? Why do you think people are like you? I'm like, hey, say whatever you want. It's the performances. Like I feel like that's literally what's gonna make people really fuck with you or not. Yeah. Are you knocking people out? Are you putting on exciting fights? People are gonna want to watch you fight.
Plus, outside of the octagon too, you have to.
You were tapped in culture. That's why I thought you were 25 still.
Yeah.
You look young. You feel young. I feel young as well. But you have like a cult following almost.
Well, we did the Timbo Sugar Show. We've done it. I've taken a break from the Timbo Sugar Show and all socials and all of that stuff since the beginning of the year. But we were doing the podcast once a week, every single week for 5 years.
Wow.
And we fucking built like a community. And a lot of the people you meet at this gym have moved from out of state and completely picked up, packed up, drove here and trained jiu-jitsu, trained on the fight team because they listened to the Timbo Sugar Show. And like that was, I think that obviously plays a role into the fan base.
You had a house, or you had people in the gaming house or something?
I got, dude.
You have a gaming house.
Everybody you met, Garrett, my assistant Blake, Schmitty, the Canadian, all these guys I met. I used to stream. I used to play video games and stream on Twitch. All those guys were in chat all the time, talking. And I gave some of them opportunities to come down. Garrett works for me full time. Blake works for me full time. Schmitty works for Tim. Like all these guys I met were from Xbox gamer chat. Like they literally. I mean, if you see us walking down the street, you're like, that looks like an Xbox live chat. Yeah, like these fucking dorks
I know
look like a live chat.
No, it don't make sense.
Also, though, like the balls to be vulnerable, like your UFC debut. Showing up with a big ass afro and a colorful shirt and good tight pants and being able to post funny shit and making fun of yourself and the balls to be vulnerable online, and I think people really liked that too.
Yeah, fair point.
It's also a result of your confidence and be able to be who you are and not be like who cares what people think.
I always felt like at an early age, 21, 22, I would say I don't give a fuck what people think of me. Looking back on it, I did give a fuck, enough of a fuck to at least have to improve and stuff. But I still, looking back, I gave a fuck. Yeah. To where I'm at a point now where I'm like, I really feel like I'm like, I don't really care what. It doesn't affect my
bro. Whenever anything happens, it's like I look at my real life and I'm like, it doesn't change anything in my real life. Like the internet's not a real place. Yeah. Bro, I'm here. I'm still. at my house, doing my thing.
And your
with
McLaren.
My people. Yeah, oh, bro. Trust, man. Actually, fuck. That's one thing I fuck with you as well, like the way expressing, like you talked about not being vulnerable, like the way you just had because your Lamborghini wasn't that color, right?
It was red when I got it.
So
I was like, I need a pink Lamborghini.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck it. Like, even me, when I first started doing the whole anime thing and like nerding, I feel, because it wasn't really cool at the time. I think I played a little part in helping it become mainstream in sports.
Yeah.
Because now you see other athletes do their own celebrations.
When you did
whatnot.
this,
the Death Note.
I don't know. I've never watched anime. I don't know, but Emron told me.
Yeah,
Because I told him, I was like, dude, that was so hard. He's like, he did it because that was an anime thing, right?
Yeah.
I was like, bro, that was fucking hard.
Yeah,
like that was
Robert the Reaper Whitaker, and the Reaper is meant to be the god of death, but from Death Note, the show, the Shinigami is the god of death. So I had that in my head. I like to conceptualize things. I like to conceptualize a fight and have life is pretty much what story are you telling yourself. And people might think that's cringe or that's stupid, but I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to do it anyway. And like you said, you only give enough of a fuck just to try and improve and take criticism well. Yeah. But you get to a point when I've done this for fucking so many years now. I've been at the top twice. And, I'm just like, you either like me or you don't.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm at a point now where my career's been so fucking sweet. I'm 30. I would love to be... I want to go out there and beat Merab. I want to beat Peter. I want to beat Corey. I want to move up. I want to beat... Like, I have so many huge fucking dreams, and I want to keep chasing greatness. Yeah. But if it all ended and I couldn't fight anymore, bro, I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, I can find happiness in giving back to the gym and the team and be there and help. I'm not a good coach, but I know I have learned so much that I can give little bits of advice. And a lot of the advice I can give, I feel like, it's not necessarily a technique or like this, but it's like, hey, if you're sparring Saturday at 10 a.m., what are you playing fucking Xbox Friday at 11 p.m.? Like, you fucking stretch, cold plunge if you can, sauna if you can, get a good night's sleep, eat a good breakfast. Like, those are to where I feel like I can give back the most, is just preparing for practices, preparing for sparring, preparing for the weeks.
See, I wish I had a friend like you when I was coming up. You would have been good for me, because I didn't do none of that shit when I was coming up.
Yeah.
I was going to ask that because you said you started the psychology stuff at 18. Was the recovery program as well very early on in the career?
We've added we take something from pretty much every year, but every camp specifically. Every time I go through a fight camp, I feel like I evolve as a human so much to where I feel like most people don't get that, because like fight camp is like, I'm really fucking dialed in and focused, and I take things from each fight camp to learn. But it's like, it started with the freezer chest, ice freezer chest, like the cold plunging. Then I got a sauna. Then I got a hot tub. So
how many years ago?
We started cold plunging probably when I was 20. 21.
Yeah, you guys started everything. You guys were so.
That's what I'm saying. I wish I had a friend like him. I'm only just getting a sauna at my house and a cold plunge. Yeah. But I've been cold plunging for like the last 2 years, maybe the last 5 fights. Then I've been using it actively because, again, I'm older now and I understand the way the body, like, bro. I was different. Like, I'd wake up, I wouldn't even have breakfast. I'd just hop in the car, kind of drowsy, get to the gym, and I'd start to wake up. That type shit. I'd stretch a little bit, get
go to sleep, 5 a.m. Yeah. Wake up, 8 a.m.
No, but
go to Sparring smelling like bourbon.
But I've learned. So that's the thing. So once I became like 31, then I realized, okay, your body is not the same like it used to. You have to be smarter now. Yeah. Which I have been in each camp from the Vittori 2 fight. Something Eugene said, he's like, how are you going to make each camp better? So I've taken it from the Vittori 2 fight. How am I going to make this next fight camp even better? Even now, that's why I'm like, okay, I normally go to the facility at, Renew, to go use the cold plunge and so on. I'm like, just put one in your house. You got money. Bro. So I was like, I bet, say less. So I just, now when we get home, there's going to be a sauna and an ice plunge at the house.
You're gonna be pissed you didn't get it sooner.
Bro, I know.
I'm getting
I've heard about the heat shock proteins that Joe Rogan talks about with the sauna, and then how good it is for sleep.
And saunaing right after workout keeps your heart rate elevated, so you're getting that response from not having to work out, but actually just sitting in the sauna.
Just chill.
Yeah. A bit of a backstory of what he was talking about before of that last camp, about his discipline. It was really on, and that was sort of like the storyline of that camp and what the coaches were. They sort of wanted to see if he could turn back the clock and also come in and do the work and be focused and everything. And it showed in the performance.
Again.
Yeah. It showed it in that first round, and even though the result was the result,
Watch the next one.
The team was still
crazy, bro.
Very happy with the takeaway, you know?
Yeah. Something I always think of, too, that kind of puts things into perspective is, like, if it's not helping you, it's hurting you. It's one or the other. It's like, if it's not going to help you, it's going to hurt you. What are you going to choose? Like, I feel like that, reminding yourself of that daily is is huge.
That's I mean, one of those things, too, is just like, when you were coming up, we were undefeated for a long time, and we would talk about, like, hey, what would we do? What would we do if we lost that fight?
Yeah.
What would we change? How hungry would we be?
He always did remind me. We go out there, fucking boom, knock Eddie Wineland out. Boom, do this, do that. He's like, hey, let's pretend we lost that fight. What do we have to improve? And for us, it was always grappling, always grappling, always grappling. And we've like that last fight did not show what I'm capable of, and I'm so excited that I get to go and show that. Possibly, you know, if it gets there, show that against the same guy, against the best guy in the division. Arguably the greatest bantamweight of all time. Like, Aljo was that in my eyes. I think Merab's kind of surpassed that. I think Merab is that guy. And to be able to go out there and prove what we've been doing over the last fucking 8 years of just diving into grappling and where we're the worst at.
Yeah, man.
Did you see Conor's post yesterday?
Don't see
shit.
shit.
I don't see shit. I mean, but it was like a social. But it was a
what did he post?
It was an old clip of him. I think it was at the PI, and he was talking. He was in camp. I think it was might have been a fight week or something. He was talking about pretty much what you guys are talking about. When I know I should be doing this, but I'm doing that. I'm eating this, but I should be eating that.
Oh,
it's
I did see that. I did see that. Okay.
He did a collab post
with some page. Yeah.
So,
dude, I've taken so much fucking inspiration, taken so much from Conor, watching his career play out, and just like the confidence he had to say what he's gonna go out there and do, and go out there and do it. It's like, I want to see Conor back, old Conor, come back and knock someone out more than anybody. Like, Conor and I have had our beef, but it was stupid.
You think it's possible?
Yeah,
yes, it is.
He's coming back. Still done it, damn it. No, but honestly, like, again, it's like what I just said before. Hey, man. No, but like, it's the same thing. It's like what we're talking about with what was it? The discipline. Oh no, wait. Hold up 2 seconds. I have my brain fart now. God damn it. I hate when these happens.
That's
fucking
podcasting
CTE.
for you.
Discipline equals freedom. One of my favorite quotes from Jocko. Discipline equals freedom.
Discipline equals freedom. Wow.
Yeah, it's like a deep one. You think about. It's like, how does that make sense? But if you can implement that into your life, okay, discipline equals freedom. Freedom from anxiety.
Another good one is I call it.
How do you expand? From anxiety.
Well, from whatever you want.
So you don't feel like, I didn't do this. I should have done this. And then that's in your head. And is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think anxiety is pretty much just you haven't done what you have needed to do today, or you're just avoiding something. It's like
procrastinating.
Can feel that. Yeah. There was only one fight in China where I knocked out this guy who was a Sambo champion and whatnot. I beat him in the second round, and then knocked him out. Went backstage. Eugene just, as I'm sitting down getting my gloves, he just squats in front of me. He's like, "I'm not fucking doing that again." I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "You weren't ready for that fight." And he was even welling up. He's like, "You weren't fucking ready for that fight." This and that, rah. And I just remember just being like, "Oh, yes, sir." Because he just gave me a telling off, and I was like, "Okay, bet, I gotcha." Because he didn't go into that fight confident. He was anxious. He was just like, "Fuck, we didn't." Because I was in China then, and he came over to corner me for that fight. Saw the state I was in, probably wasn't in the best shape, and then he was just like, "Nah, we're not doing that again. I'm never fucking doing that again." And yeah, but you need that. That's what I need. I know me. Don't give me too much time. Back then, as a young guy, and I'm glad as well. I didn't get famous like really young. I'm glad I kind of got famous worldwide around like I popped like 27, 28, young enough but mature enough to learn from the mistakes I made when I was 21. Like, bro, if I was like shout out John Jones, you know, he's the greatest of all time, but he became the youngest champion at 21. Bruh. That lifestyle, man.
It's like
I'm
a kid star.
Yeah,
like famous,
exactly.
Like kids that famous that early.
It's not good because you're not fully developed yet. You don't understand what's happening, and now it's so. And there'll be other, not want to say pitfalls, but variables. But I know how to navigate them better. I know how to respond rather than just react to things. You know, which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my age now. Smarter, wiser. Still look young. Still feel young. Yeah.
Especially that Imavov fight, like you checked all the boxes. You did everything you needed to do. So that was a win in itself, regardless of the outcome.
That gave me confidence. So I'm like, all right, bet. I know I can turn back the clock.
Yeah.
That was the best discipline, best camp he's had in the last 2 years. Even the Drykers fight.
Yeah.
If he wasn't did it like because
I gassed out.
He started the camp. He started the camp a bit late.
Yeah.
Because of the 1 year layoff.
And I was heavy.
It was heavy. Instead of starting,
no excuses though.
No excuses. I mean,
it's
not an excuse. But we're just talking about being lack of discipline and not doing what you're supposed to. And because I'll be going and do my PTs and like, where's Izzy? But like, yeah. But that's why he looked so tired and things weren't as dialed in as the Imavov fight. But as he's getting mature. Like one of his goals has been, changing his lifestyle and being more of a professional athlete.
Living like a real athlete makes you a better fighter,
dude.
Wow,
he came all this way.
Amazing.
I feel like the reason I've been able to stay so disciplined is that I've had a girl that, like, I've been with Danny for 10 years.
That's the real thing. That ship left for me a long time ago.
But that's what I mean, dude. Without her.
Yeah,
I'm a crazy motherfucker. I could if Tim and I did,
boy,
bro. If Tim and I lived in like we very well could live in Scottsdale in a penthouse and be fucking balling out of our minds.
Hey.
But like the fact that I've been able to stay with Danny, like we've had our ups and downs, me navigating
life, bro.
fame, me saying shit on podcasts, getting too personal. Like I had that. I learned a lot from just fucking up that way. But the reason I've been able to stay so disciplined is the fact that I have a girl. Tim has he's been with his girl for 14 years. I've been with Danny for like 10 years, and it's like that's what's truly kept me grounded. I could pretty much say for a fact, without her, I would 100% not be here.
Shout out to her. Shout out to Danny.
Chill with Conor.
I say like Conor had D.
Yep.
But again, look, I'll tell you this. I coined it discipline.
Yo, that's fucking crazy.
Discipline. That actually helps, man. So that's one thing my last camp really helped.
How'd you do it being single?
No.
Or you didn't do it.
No. Fuck. No, I didn't when I was younger, but then, like I said, my last camp, I was fucking golden, man. Like, look, you can have fun, and also I realized, like, when you're outside, you try to look for one thing, and then if you catch a fish, you prepping the fish till like 7 a.m. It's hard.
Now you gotta spar.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm content. I bought the T-shirt, giving a lot of T-shirts away, but yeah, it's just discipline, and it helps.
Like that.
But again, having someone like that in your life will change. She can either make you or break you.
Yep.
Can either make whoever you have behind you. But again, without that, I'm glad I have a good support system, and also I'm glad I have my family behind me. And shout out to my dad, my mom, my siblings, even him. This wouldn't happen without David because I was leaving money on the table for years, and then. Even my manager, Ash, Tim, were telling me, oh, get a part. You should start a YouTube channel. And I was like, it's too much work. And then David just said, shut the fuck up. Just sit down and just do your thing.
Left nursing school.
Yeah. Dude, that's sweet. Your fucking YouTube channel's fucking
shout out, Stay Hydrated, Luca James, my co-pilot.
Well. Yeah, but shout out Luca.
No, Jeff is a snake. He went to go work.
Zuck stole him from us.
Actually?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Now, Jeff is, anything you see on Zuck's page, Jeff took a picture of. But I'm glad for him because, look, eventually this guy's going to leave me and go be a fucking producer for some big.
No, I like it here.
fucking leave it. No, but if there's opportunities, I would never stop my brother from getting a bag. Like Jeff is doing so well, lives in San Francisco now. But yeah, it's just tight knit group, close circle. Like my close friends, even I love my teammates and stuff, and we hang out sometimes. But the people I actually hang out with, we're like an eclectic group of people. Like you look at my friends, be like, how are they friends?
Yeah,
not like your friends. Like,
Xbox Live.
Yeah.
I love that though.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
That's
know
the real ones
origin.
though. Like all my friends, I really have close to me. I've been with friends with them for over 10 years, 15 years. So that's why it would be nice, to have someone like that beside you. But again, this is a rough game, man. Love is a rough game.
Especially like the level you guys are fighting at, how elite you guys are. Living like a pro outside of camp, I feel like it's just so fucking important.
It's about limiting the distractions. I feel like that was like 2025. I'm like, the reason I stopped doing all that stuff, because we talked about it on the podcast. We did an update pod. I'm fighting Merab. I'm stopping all this stuff. And people are like, oh, you think that's going to help you beat Merab? Like, I'm not stopping all these distractions so I can go out there and beat Merab. That's going to help. It's going to play a role. But I'm like, I'm doing it for my mind. Like, dude, for me getting on Instagram and seeing butt cheeks and boobies and beautiful women, it's just like, it puts my mind at a place that I don't need to be. I have what I need. And when I can just actually be grateful for what I already have, I realize I don't need anything. I have everything that I need.
Because you've been there and done it, and then you've seen the grass on the other side. You've touched the grass on the other side, and you're like, you know what? I like that grass better.
Yeah.
Go back and take care of your own house.
It could
take
still
care
be
of
a
your
battle,
own garden.
bro. Like I feel like I'm like I don't know what it is, but it still could be it's still a battle.
There'll be another
sometimes.
one. Bro, you're human.
Yeah.
You're a wild boy.
Yeah.
I understand.
You gotta be. I feel like you gotta be a certain level of crazy to even be a fighter in general. But to get
Why
to where
are we
we're
doing
at,
this?
it's like you gotta be fucking
Insane.
little screw loose.
Yeah.
Man.
Then a nice little heavy dose of mushrooms will make everything clear.
I did mushrooms
right.
on Christmas and that
last Christmas, like
a
big dose?
couple months ago. Not a big like for me. I could do like a gram and trip pretty like I'll fucking sit out this guy Sono came over to my house because it was Christmas Eve. They were having a party at Tim's and I was supposed to go over there. I was going through some personal shit. I took some mushrooms. I was sitting out at my house looking out those huge trees.
That's beautiful as well.
Watching the clouds go over the trees. And I realized
were you on the swing?
I was sitting in this chair with a blanket over me, and I was just fucking gone.
You go
tripping.
within, bro. For me, I like tripping out like
It
outwardly.
has to be outside.
Yeah.
It has
No. When I say within yourself, because I'm
of course.
outside or whatever. I'm seeing this, that. I like grabbing sand.
I was
looking at it, just being like, there's so much levels we don't even understand. Because the sand is telling me, and the sand, the way it moves, it's almost like alive. The tree moss.
I was putting my feet in the dirt and like grabbing with my feet.
Yes, you feel it. And then when we come back and put the blinders on again, then you just go look at it. You're like, I know it's there. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's there. But then also within myself, like the Pereira fight when I was in the shower. That's why I want a big shower. I'm building a big ass shower.
Me too, right now. 8 foot, a huge fucking shower.
I want to be
8 foot, 8 by 10. I'm
That's
building
a walk-in shower.
massive shower. It's fucking huge for that reason alone.
Yeah,
throwing
bro,
question mark
me.
kicks in there.
Yeah,
man. Because the shower I have,
the mirror.
Because I can't really move around in there. It's a little claustrophobic. But I have the ocean, which helps.
That's it.
But the shower though, when you have a shower, you can put whatever music you're on because the speakers are in the ceiling. You can just elevate to the next level.
Speakers. I need to put them.
Bro, I'm telling you, I got it in mind as well. Speakers, just so you can elevate. And I even like the fact that after our workout or with Brendan, you put the playlist, changed it straight away because boom, I just went into after the breathing, I could feel my chest tingling, and then I was just like relaxed, melt into the mat.
And that down reg's important after a hard workout.
Parasympathetic as fuck, bro. I went into like sloth mode.
You feel like you're just. If you can really focus in on your breath, and it's almost, for me, I find it easier to get into my breath after a hard workout, after heart rate's super elevated.
Yeah.
To where if you can, I like when Brandon guides me through it. So when I do it by myself, I can't get as deep. But when Brandon guides me through it and just like, you just
don't have to think.
Oh, God, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Does he do stuff in the water with you as well?
Water workouts?
No, like breath work in the water.
Oh,
like
yeah,
going underwater.
Nah, that's another one. That's with my guy, Dave Wood.
Oh, I've seen you do that.
Yeah, like that helps, man. Like, the most I got to for static breath hold was 2 minutes, 43 seconds.
Yeah.
And that was like a good indicator for myself. Like, okay, my lungs are fucking strong right now, you know?
I use that as a kind of a marker, too. When I can get, hit some crazy breath holds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, my lungs are powerful right now. They can push. Yeah.
Talking about, high-level fights and the big targets you have for your future, how do you guys step up the intensity of fight camp when you have a guy like, Merab, up next and you need to hit that next gear? Like, I was talking about what Eugene was doing for Pereira 1, Pereira 2. So how do you, plan out the next ramp up to try and get Sean to that next level?
The last one was tough because we'd come into practice, I'd have a plan, I'd be like, hey, I have this guy, we're gonna wrestle on the wall a bunch, we're gonna do jiu-jitsu. He's like, I can't with my hip. I cannot physically wrestle, I cannot do jiu-jitsu. So I'm like, all right, well, we gotta focus on what we can do then and just hit some fucking mitts.
Control what you can.
Yeah, but now his hips fixed, so I can bring in wrestlers his size, switch out fresh guys, and he's prepared for these practices now. And he goes home, as soon as he goes home for his workout, he's automatically preparing for the next one because he knows it's going to be brutal and it's going to be a grind. So being in Phoenix and having the high-level people that we have around us and being able to call them, have good relationships with them all, and they'll be here. And
I hate when people, every time, it's like, you hear people say, "Oh, he needs to go and bring in this guy. He needs to go to this wrestling
They don't understand
school.
how it works. It's like,
he needs to bring in this wrestler." I'm like, dude, we have the guys at the gym. We have them, or at least they're in Phoenix. We have guys. Like, I don't have to fucking go to some college and start. Like, we have the guys that we need. I just wasn't able to do it last camp. I tore my labrum.
I want to see the sparring on Friday, man.
Fuck,
again,
I know.
Do you do film study on your sparring?
Bro? You tell him.
yeah, we do, and we have this guy.
I started doing them as well. The last 3 fights.
Dude, I've been watching my sparring for the last 10 years, I've recorded my sparring. I will watch it.
He's ahead of the game.
You guys are
ahead of the game.
Bro, I will watch my rounds in slow motion. I will watch a 5-minute round. It will take me 10 minutes to watch a round. I send him clips, and it's little things. You see that feint 1-2, how beautiful that was? You see that knee that would have landed? Like, I've been doing this for over 10 years. I have and I upload them to YouTube. I put them on listed or private.
Yeah,
and I have years and years and years and years
cool.
from sparring. John Moraga, Alex Caceres, Yatsin Mays. That like I've been sparring all.
That's
these.
gonna be valuable later on, man. Like valuable. You can even sell that on Patreon or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever me, I realized I've been doing it for the last 3 or 4 fights now. He'll film sparring. I won't post it nowhere. He'll just send me a YouTube link private, and I'll sit at home. Boom, I have the HyperIce on, and I'll be watching it. And it's because my teammates, they know some of my go-tos.
Yeah, that's huge.
So then when I start to like with Navajo or Lost Dan, whoever, then I start to see, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's not ready for that. Cool. So I know what to bring with each guy when I spar them next time because they know, okay, if Israel has the over-under, we know the lateral drop's coming. So okay, he's about to Granby roll. So those kind of things. So I start to mix it up, and it forced me to get better. I think so. It really forces us to get better.
I think me watching back all my sparring has improved my skills so fucking much. But even grappling rounds, he'll record all my grappling rounds. I showed you that.
Yeah, oh, bro. That was sick.
I don't want to say. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not saying it, but hey, trust me, that was fucking sick.
Yeah, but I've been recording all my grappling rounds, seeing positions. Okay, I need to get my knee shield a little bit higher. It's getting too. There's just little things like that. But I think, and even for younger fighters watching this, is recording your rounds and fucking rewatching them is
it's not vain because sometimes like my friends understand, like even if Chance or Matt or whoever they see me, because sometimes I feel like maybe they just watch like it's not vain. You're just watching yourself, even if it is. Fuck it, you're getting better. I'm watching myself get better, and I'm like, okay. Even like you said, after a big win, you'd be like, okay, if we had lost that fight, what I would do? He's seen me after like the Brad Tavares fight. We go back to the hotel. Didn't have an after party planned back then. I wasn't doing those, but then. I like to sleep after a fight, but you get paid for the after party, so whatnot. But then I'd just put the fight on, and I'd watch it, take a rewind, watch it, take a rewind.
Love that.
Okay, that situation, I fucked up there. All right, boom, noted. So that way I want to see, if I was fighting me, how would I beat me?
Yeah. One of my favorite things to do after a fight is shower.
Oh!
That because you have a
you get it.
You have a conversation with yourself. The last shower I had before the fight, I have a conversation with myself in the mirror, look at myself in the mirror, talk to myself in the shower. Tell my body, hey, whatever happens, like we got to push. Let's get ready. Then that victory shower, you just stand there like this.
The relief.
We did it. We're going to Wanaka, mama. Or whatever.
The relief. The relief.
The relief, and just like looking yourself in your eyes and being like, we did it. I remember one of the first times I came down to the MMA lab at the old gym, not where it's at right now. I remember vividly looking through. There was like the cage. It was like a wall cage with a mirror behind it. I remember standing there looking into my own pupils, saying like, "You're gonna make it. Trust the process." And I was like, this was like when I first moved down to the lab, and it was such a vivid memory of just believing in myself, and like I still remember that. But every time I look into my eyes before the fight, like I can remember that young buck just like, damn, we are fucking here.
We're here.
We're in it.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I like watching myself when I walk out to a fight or when I'm in the cage. You look at your eyes, you're like, oh, there he is. Because now we're just chill dudes, it's just Sean and Izzy. But then when Suga and Styles come out, it's like you look at your eyes, you're like, oh, there he is.
There's Suga.
It's like when people meet you, they go, oh, man, you're a lot different than I thought in person. I'm like, I'm not trying to fight you. This is fucking fighting. Like, if someone brings that heat, then it's different. Like, you ever? Well, you saw what happened with me in the streets in Auckland. You guys see that clip?
I saw it.
Yeah, silly. But again, that was a moment I just let a guy slide. But you never get that out here. You never get.
Well, the thing about here is everyone's packing.
Merca.
Everyone. You don't get like.
Hell yeah, brother.
Someone wants to pull over and fight. You don't. You keep driving.
Let's go, bro.
They'll fucking.
I've seen some crazy clips on my algorithm. Sometimes decides to just show me the worst shit. Well, I think it's because of Matt Hughes, my chef. Because we just send each other memes all day. And then he's fucked up my algorithm as well.
Yeah.
So I just see like some shootouts, police stuff. And I'm just like, this is not what I want to see. Where the bitches at, bro?
Yeah.
For real.
Man, hearing you guys talk about how the things that you have been doing since early on, since he was 20.
It's inspiring.
Seeing him, or seeing where you guys are at now, I mean, it's not by accident.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, it makes, and seeing how good you are, also, it makes sense. You're watching sparring rounds in slow motion, you're fucking like, now, like, it's coming full circle for me. You guys were talking about showering in the back. Should there be ice baths for each fighter in the back as well?
Yeah, I think that would be...
For each room. Because maybe they can't have for each fighter, but for each room. And
so it's like clean and blood doesn't get...
Well,
okay,
rinse
true,
off.
true.
Rinse off.
But they got money, yes.
Yeah,
Every fucking
got money.
Yes.
I rinse
Dana
off.
has the thing, the
shower
inflatable
before
one.
every cold plunge. We have a cold plunge when you showered.
I saw it.
Right after I trained today, I showered and I cold plunged for 1 minute.
Straight away. Oh,
Just
see,
1
but
minute.
Like your shins and whatnot, and like
after a fight, fuck yes. Because even they have the sauna tents.
I actually crave that ice bath. Right after, I'm always like,
It's
God,
the best.
that'd be nice. But you just never are able to.
We'll talk to whoever had. Well, they'll probably see this. Please.
because Dana works with that company that does the sauna tent and the ice bath things, and those are all portable.
That'd be clutch.
Those are all cheap as well.
Yeah.
That would definitely help us
clutch.
for real. Where's this fight? Where is it?
New Jersey, which
Jersey.
is kind of weird place, but Henry and Aljo fought. I went out there to sit cage side because I was fighting the winner in New Jersey. Aljo wins. I get in the cage. We're talking our shit.
That's right,
I take
yeah.
my jacket off, hand it to Merab. I thought he was the coat guy. I thought they brought in a coat guy for me. 'Cause I always take my shirt off. So I hand it to the coat guy, and then it ended up being Merab, and he's wearing it, and people are like, oh, he stole your jacket. So it's coming full circle.
Yeah.
Winner gets the jacket.
He's from there as well.
He's from. I think
Well,
he's
not
from
from
like
Jersey, but he lives
like East Coast
out
type
there,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the first fight because I feel like it was also similar to Izzy's Strickland fight. You had an injury, you couldn't do what you wanted. It went the whole 5 rounds, and he sort of, had his way, the entire time, and
Debatable.
right.
I've watched it.
It was a robbery. It was a robbery.
We've watched it in slow-mo.
Yeah, you didn't watch it in slow-mo, buddy. It wasn't a robbery. No robbery by any means. On the judges' scorecards, I won round 3 and 5. Round 2 and 4, 100% he won. Round 1 was the one that gave it to him. And in my mind, if you go and watch round 1 with the commentating off, the body shots, I snapped his head back a few times. He took me down. He had me in a front headlock position. It looked to the judge, it may look like he's going for a darce or guillotine or something, but he was just holding me there. He didn't actually do any damage. The number 1 criteria is damage in per round. Round 1. I did more damage. In my mind, everyone has their own opinions, but that fight was a lot closer than people think, and no one really cares to go rewatch it because it wasn't super exciting, and I don't blame them. But if you're gonna have an extra opinion, like no, just rewatch the first fight, turn the commentating off.
You're right.
And it's like it was the round 2 and 4 he dominated, and it made that's what sticks out. And I get that.
The antics.
Yeah,
that
little
was
kissing and shit. And I fucking almost. Yo, there was still 3 seconds, and I look back on that, and I was proud of myself for being so aware of how much time was left. There was 3 seconds left. Herb didn't stop it. He didn't say anything. He said, "Hey, quit kissing him." Rob gets up. I go to fucking clock him, but Herb was it
Herb Dean.
Herb, wasn't it? That was him, right?
Yeah.
He was a little in the way. If I would have got a clean shot on him, stiffing him up. But no, I'm happy with how the first fight played out in the sense that this next fight, I am counted out. This fight, I am not supposed to win this fight.
I rate that. I rate the fact that again, awareness, self-awareness. I'm thinking everything that you're doing, like no social media, all that's helping you because now you get to focus solely on this fight and you can understand. And you're like, okay, I've accepted the last fight. It is what it is. It was what it was. Now it's time for you to do what you know you can do with your body healed. And again, I feel that. I honestly, 100% feel that. And yeah,
it sucks because it's just an excuse, which I get.
Oh, no, I don't. I don't make excuses. I just say, cool, he beat me. Cool, that fair and square. And if someone else says something, that's cool. It's like, okay, cool. I might deny it. I might not. I wouldn't say anything about it. But
I kept getting asked, like, yo, you didn't look the same. You didn't look the same. I was like, well, maybe because I had fucking torn labrum and all that. Maybe that was it.
How many weeks out did you tear it?
10 weeks.
Oh, so it started camp. Fuck.
Before the fight got announced. 8 weeks. Because I remember the Sphere was like, who's going to be Ilya Max? Or is it going to be me and Merab? Who's going to be?
Was the fight already signed?
At 8 weeks. So 10 weeks out, I knew Hunter, UFC was like, hey, we're probably going to be you guys, but I don't know yet. So I'm already in camp I start at minimum 12 weeks. So I trained for 2 weeks hard, tear my leg. Remember someone had me in a single leg, and I felt it. And I didn't know at first. I was like, oh, there's like a groin strain or something.
Okay.
I get an MRI, comes back. It was a torn labrum. And 8 weeks out, Hunter calls me. He's like, you got the Sphere? And I was just like, I'm not going to fucking not fight at the Sphere.
Did you tell him?
No.
Well, especially the
no.
confidence we had going into
I
it.
still
We just
thought I was
starched
gonna beat
Aljo.
Yeah.
We just smoked Cheeto. So we had a lot of confidence going into it. We didn't have the best camps for a lot of those fights. So we're like, hey, we're gonna go smoke this fucker too.
The thing is, like Tim said, I fought Aljo, compromised, fought Cheeto compromised. It's like it adds up. Like that fight camp, I was so just I didn't take the time I needed to, and it's like it's very.
See, that's one thing. Funny thing is, I felt the same way, but I was like, nah, I have to fight in Sydney. I have to fight. I haven't fought in this side of the world in so long. So, and then Dana was like, listen, kid, you got enough money. Just chill out for a while. I'm like, yeah, it's not
For the
that.
Strickland fight?
Yeah. So I was like, nah, I went all stubborn. And then in hindsight, I'm like, maybe Dana was right. Maybe I should have just chilled. But again, look, I love these stories. This is how it's supposed to happen.
Adversity is a privilege.
Adversity is a privilege. Amen.
Shout out Volk.
Shout out Volk. But yeah, man, honestly, I can't wait. It's in 7 weeks.
Yep.
Brother, I wish you the best in your preparation. I don't say
Thanks,
good
sir.
luck. I say good skill.
Good
You're a
skill.
skillful
I like that.
motherfucker.
I like
Let's
that.
go,
Appreciate
bro.
that, David.
Easy.
Let's go.
Good skill.
Good skill.
It's
It's
been fun.
you.
I'm excited for you to come back too. I'm excited
bro.
for it's gonna.
We're still here, but like, I don't need anything else. Like, bro, like you said, if everything stopped right now, you're happy with what we did. Because if this doesn't make us happy, what will?
Yep.
What's gonna make us happy? Maybe 2 times. Hey guys, what's up? Izzy here. Like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoy this video.